Alright, well, welcome to another video. In this video what we're going to be doing is looking at the trader configuration settings, how to add things to a trader and obviously adjust the prices and create categories, etc. Also, at the end of this video I will be giving away the competition winner, those that entered the 50 sub competition. So there will be a £50 giveaway happening at the end of the video, so stay tuned till at the end, obviously find out if that's yourself if you entered. But without further ado guys, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to need to do, okay, we're going to need to enter our trader file. Now that's in our profiles. So what you need to do is go to File Manager, wait for File Manager to open, then you're going to go to Profiles, click on Profiles, and then you're going to be looking for the trader file. Once you've got the trader file, we need to open our trader file and we need to go to here, okay, it's the trader config text. Alright, so this is our current trader settings at the moment, okay. Now if you've never come across this before, or this is your first time looking into it, don't be too worried about all this. I can scroll down. I know you're not going to be able to read all that at the moment, okay? But I've got a lot of things extra in here, etc. But it's just showing you like different categories. For argument's sake, you've got sniper rifles, grenades, all this other good stuff. Assault rifles. They depend on obviously where you place them. Will depend on where they are in the actual trader themselves. So don't be too freaked out about all this. I mean, if you're not, great. But yeah, don't worry about it. What we'll do now is, for this example, we are just going to add a simple code lock. So I'm going to show you how to add the code lock in here, not just to get it to sit there, but how to create its own category and then how to assign that category to a trader. So as you can see, okay, just by scrolling down you can see all these categories. So you've got shoes and boots, etc., pants, skirts. So you know that category here is, if you're looking at Green Mountain, it's the one in the little guardhouse on the right hand side as you come in, because obviously they're the ones that deal, it's that trader that deal with obviously the clothing. Then you can see buttstocks, optics, all this sort of stuff, suppressors. You're going to notice one in that fairground boxing where you've got the guns and the magazines, etc. by the side of it. But for a code lock, I want to put it in the builder's trader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up until I know I'm in the builder's trader. Alright, so now I know I'm in the builder's trader. And how do I know that? It's pretty much hardware supplies. So eventually what I'm going to do is I am just going to place the code lock here. It's going to be underneath the car tent in the trader. I'm going to get to the stars, the M's, etc. in a minute, and the figures. But just to show you how to do it, okay, first of all I'm going to show you just how to add it simply. So I always use my type files. So what I do as well, just to make it easier for myself, I just copy the last one. So Control and C, or obviously right click and copy, and then I'm just going to paste it there, okay. So now I've got two large tents. What I'm going to do now, obviously you don't have to, you can just type that out if you wish, but just so I know exactly where everything is and what I've got to change. I've got my type files, so I'm going to need the code lock as it appears in the type files, and this is the only tricky bit, okay? Depending on how things are worded in game, depending on how they are in the type files, will depend what you need to do with the trader. And I'm not going to lie, that can take a little bit of figuring out, and some of that is just trial and error. You will just need to have a sort of play around and find your feet a little bit. But this is the general basics of getting something now into the trader, so that's working, so you can buy and sell in game. So you can see I've highlighted code lock here. So again, I'm just going to Control C and I'm going to copy it. I'm then just going to highlight the tent and just Control V it, and just because OCD I'm going to line it up a bit, okay? So it needs to be exactly as it appears in your type files. For argument's sake, if something's different, you've got a small L instead of a big L, or you put a space for code lock like that, it's not going to work. So just input it exactly as it appears on your type files. Now you can see I've got the star. Now the star category is a number of things. With the barrels is something different. You've got you've got 10 for wooden planks, because for every wooden plank that you buy you're going to get 10 planks for the price and the sale price. So this is pretty much your denominational category. So you've got your money, your pelts, again cannabis, you're getting 1. So we don't tend to do much with the first category, only on a few things. So for code locks, because I'm only wanting one code lock to spawn in every time somebody buys a code lock, I'm just going to put a star there. So I'm going to keep that star. So the next category along, so your first figure is going to be a buy price. What are you going to be charging people to obviously purchase that item? So in this case, I'm not going to make code locks too expensive, but I want to make them about 3 grand. So I'm just going to delete and press 3. So you've got 3 grand. Again, you need the comma, and just make note of this, okay? You've got a comma here and a comma after the star, but there is no comma after the final one. After the sale price, there is no comma. So what's somebody going to get on my server for selling a code lock? They're going to get 500. So that's the prices I've input. Now if I press save up here and restart my server, now I'm not going to do it at the minute because I have got 1 or 2 players on at the minute. There we are, I got 2 players on, so I'm not going to do it just a second. But if I restart that server, when I go into the server to say I go to Green Mountain, I go into the hardware shop and I go look right to the bottom. It will say then code lock at the end underneath the tents. Alright, so but what I'm going to show you now is what happens if you want to set up a completely separate category. So say code lock is its own mod and it has various ones, and you want to create its own place in the trader for a code lock. So what we're going to need is a category. So as you can see, these are category drinks. Okay, so if we go back to our code lock, so we've got our code lock, right? What you're going to do is create a category. So I always copy, again, I always copy one, okay? I just find it easier that way. You can type the word in category, but if you're like myself and maybe you're quicker typing and you misspell something and it doesn't work and you've got to try and figure out why, I just go the easy route of copy and paste. Try and simplify things as much as I can. So I'm going to copy that. So I've got that copied. I'm just going to create a bit of breathing space between us, right? So I'm going to paste that there. So again, it's still going to be in the hardware section because I haven't left this section of trader. If I wanted to put the code lock now in the gun section, I would just scroll down to the guns down here and I would input it down here. And as you can see here, obviously you just input it there and then it would be in the gun section of the trader. But for this case, I want to keep it where it is. So I want to keep it in the same position, but I want to just create its own category. So let's just, for argument's sake, call this category locks. I'm just going to delete that and I'm going to call it locks. Now if you notice, again, there's no comma. So you've got the category, no comma. And that's all we would need to do is copy and paste this and place it underneath the word locks, like so, and that is done. So if I now restart the server, I would have my own category, whereas you've got base furniture, seeds, etc. You've got hardware supplies, cooking and hunting supplies. I would have my own category now stated the word locks, and then this would be in there. That code lock would be in there. Obviously I don't want to do that, okay? I want to just keep it where it is. So for that, I'm just going to highlight it all and delete. And then obviously when I press save, now that's going to be saved. So the next time my server restarts, that would be in there. It is important, you will need to restart your server or wait until the next restart. If you don't, it will not work, okay? So don't just do it like that now. Don't restart your server. Jump on and check it's there, find it's not, and then you think you've got a problem. Just remember to hit the restart button. What I'm going to quickly show now then is, now we've got the basics, okay? So that is how you put something in, and obviously everything's quite easy. What I'm going to show you now is how to input a full mod. Where to find that information. Alright, so for this I am just going to use an example. So for this example I'm going to use Mungards, okay? So assume that we haven't got Mungards installed in our trader. Where would you go? So what we're going to do now, we're going to open Mungards up and we're going to extract them files, okay? So like I've said in the previous video, what we're going to need is the trader files. Now a lot of them can be in here. When you look through Mungards, etc., you can find the trader files here. Sometimes look around these sort of areas, alright? If the modders haven't done an update or they've added things and they've not been added to the trader config file, just check the comments below because a lot of people will write them and add them to the comments below, okay? So after you've checked this, you've had a look through here, okay? Maybe you can't find the trader files. What we're going to do is we're going to look at this number up here, the 3776, and then we're going to find that in our server, in our file manager. So we're looking for 3776, and then we are looking for the trader config section. So there we are, 3776. We are going to open this up, and as you can see there's a folder right here saying trader config. So we can open that up. We've got another folder, press the edit button, and there are your trader files. Now what you need to do is make sure you copy the category as well. Copy the category, so you can scroll down, Control C, okay, and then you can just cancel out that. You don't want to change anything in there. And then we need to go to our own trader manager again, so back to profiles. And again back in trader, again trader config, and then it is just a matter of pasting this then wherever you want this in your traders. Now I've already got Mungards on here, as you can see I've placed this here, but it will just be a matter of finding where you want it, Control V, again save, and again you would have to restart the server. Alright, so now the server's restarted. What we're going to do now is we're going to wait for that to boot up, and we're going to open our launcher, okay? So now this is open, we are just going to jump into the server, sorry, and we are just going to quickly check the trader, and obviously we'll be able to check the price. Now if you've done your price wrong, and for argument's sake you haven't put a comma, or you've inputted the figures the wrong way around, like I said, this will be the time and place to obviously try and find that out and obviously figure out what you did wrong. So if we go into the server now and something isn't right, we'll come back out and we'll check our files and we'll figure out why it's not right. Alright then, so to test this out, we're just going to spawn ourselves to a trader and see if that's there, okay? So I'm just going to use the admin tools for this because it's pointless me running all the way there. Because at the moment I just literally want to test if this is there. So we're going to wait now for everything to spawn in. Just give everything a moment to spawn in. It's one thing you've got to get used to with the admin tools as well. When you spawn somewhere, it can take a little time for things to just generate. So it's best just to chill out for a moment and let everything spawn in. Right, so that's everything spawned in. People left paper. Canopy tents. Oh, there's a bit of loot around being left. I take it they aren't things you can sell, which again is things I can add to the trader. Perfect example. So we're going to go to the category now we put this in. So we put this in hardware supplies. We're going to look right down and right at the bottom with a photo, code lock. So we know that's going to work. And again, if we created our own category, if you remember, we created it between hardware supplies and base furniture, it would have been there. So when you click right, if you look at the top here, these are the categories. So like we spoke about earlier, for every different category, they're obviously there. I mean, I can see something I can move already. This can get moved. So what I want to do is I want to move this category from seeds to the food category. So that's something else I could do with the trader as well, is move that and put it over here. So obviously all our food and everything then is in one place. But that's it really, guys. That's it for the trader config section. Again, I started with something basic. If you've got a mod or you want to know a mod or there's anything you really want to check out, then let me know. And I can have a look at that mod for you to see if I can figure out why that's not working for you. Without further ado, it has come to our competition winner time. So, I picked somebody out at random. So the lucky winner for this one is Paul Jones. Now, Paul Jones, I have got £50 waiting for you. I'm not sure if you're on Discord under a different name, so can you get in touch? Either drop a message in this video or get in touch with me or DM me on Discord. Like I said, once I've got in contact with you, then I can figure out then whether you'd rather the £50 transfer or whether you'd rather the Steam card. Alright, but get in touch with me. If I haven't heard from you in a few weeks, I'll give you 3 or 4 weeks. If I haven't heard from you in that time, I will do another draw, okay? So please get in touch as soon as you can. But congratulations for the 50 sub, £50 winner. I have got more competitions planned coming up in the future, but not yet. But there are some more, maybe every 100, maybe every 100 subs. Maybe the next one I'll do is 200, but we'll have a think. But guys, if you've enjoyed this video, then thanks for watching. If you want to be involved in the next competition and stick around, make sure you hit the sub button and follow the channel, show the channel some love. And I'll catch you later, guys. Cheers.